San Francisco is the home of a new multi-billion-dollar technology industry, and Brits are getting in on the act.
Tech is totally sexy now. If you're not taking risks, you're not having fun.
San Francisco is the Mecca.
With 5,000 smartphone apps launched every week, it's a cutthroat world.
If you're not growing, then you're going to die.
But just what does it take to make your fortune in Silicon Valley?
You get rejection after rejection. Every time you're like, fuck.
Robin Exton wants to revolutionize lesbian dating. But she only has 1 month to launch her app.
The first app designed for lesbian, bisexual, and curious women.
At 22, Josh Buckley was previously worth tens of millions, but he's fighting not to lose it all.
Investors have pulled out $5 million. They'll probably pull out another 10.
Julia Onken wants her own app empire by the time she's 25, but she's starting from the bottom.
If I can't get the user number up, I probably wouldn't have a job.
With costs that cannot always be measured in dollars.
I pushed myself a little bit harder than I usually do, and I had a cardiac arrest.
Welcome to the world of the app inventors.
Are you dying?
Maybe.
San Francisco is the new Hollywood, with more millionaires per head than Los Angeles. Tomorrow, 28-year-old Robin Exton is setting off from London, hoping to join them.
So tonight, I've got my sister coming over. So just cooking some food and saying bye to everyone before I head off to the States. Hi. Hello. How are you? Oh.
Robin has ploughed her savings into her idea for a smartphone app.
So how are you feeling about your trip to America?
I think it's good. I think it's a lot of anticipation of what it could possibly be, which will either be really, really good and it will change everything and will smash everything and it will go really well, or it will be a massive anticlimax and I'll come back with nothing and be like, no money, no more users, bad launch.
Robin grew up in Kent. After coming out as bisexual in her early 20s, she struggled to get a girlfriend. Then had a flash of inspiration.
I was with my friends in the pub and we were all signed up to a bunch of different lesbian sites. One of my friends had just split up with her girlfriend. We were signing her up to the site that we were on and knew that what we were using was awful and I cared so much about it. And then the actual idea for Datch came up and that was how I started doing this.
How much money do you need to raise when you get over there?
I want to raise $1 million. Everyone's been working for basically no money, and then it's launching it all across America.
And if you don't raise the money, how long is Datch going to survive as an app?
Not very long. It's really depressing though, because it's just, you start to realize that everything is just completely dependent on money. Realistically, 4 months.
And for yourself?
I can't ever imagine not doing it and actually ever being prepared to give it up.
If Robin's gamble pays off, she could corner the market and make millions. But it's estimated only 1 in 10 technology startups survive.
You know, as her older sister, I guess I do feel protective over her, and yeah, I just continually as a pendulum swing between being so proud and wanting to shout from the rooftops and tell everyone how brilliant she is, to thinking she's a complete idiot and I'm really scared and worried about it.
San Francisco is home to 100,000 Brits, many hoping to join the tech gold rush. One Brit who's already created a hit app is 22-year-old Josh Buckley. He arrived in San Francisco aged 18, near the beginning of the smartphone revolution. His game, Mino Monsters, was a hit with teenage boys and was making nearly $1 million a month at its peak.
We're going back to the office, so I live right up here.
Josh now lives and works at one of the city's most exclusive addresses.
My office is on the 6th floor, my apartment's on the 9th floor, so it's a really cool setup, and there's rarely a reason to actually leave the building.
3 years on, Josh's game is losing its shine, and his wealth is on the line.
Mino Monsters 1 was growing pretty well. It was making millions of dollars, and it was growing up to 10% a week, but we realized it probably would have capped out at a certain level. If you don't keep growing, then you're going to die, figuratively. We're going to see Michael Birch. He's one of my investors. Michael Birch, he's probably the biggest success coming out of England. He founded one of the early successful internet startups called Bebo. He sold it for $850 million, I think. It's a lot of money. I'll check with him if he wants to invest in this current round of funding.
Josh is planning to turn around his company with his game, but he's $5 million short of what he needs to finish it. The support of multi-millionaire Michael Birch could be invaluable.
So how's Minnow Monsters?
We pulled that game from, pretty much paused it, with the intention of launching a sequel, Minnow Monsters 2. There's like some big changes in the game design. Like one of the most obvious is like Minnow Monsters 1 has like you could play for like 2 weeks and then you reach the end of the content. The new game, Minnow Monsters 2, you can play for 2 years, and every week we add in new stuff constantly.
Do you need more money, or
We're probably going to raise like $5 million that we want to spend on like marketing this thing right out of the gate.
Right.
What size would you do at this stage?
I don't know. I have to speak to my wife. She controls the checkbook.
She's the money manager.
The stage he's raising investment at is not the optimum stage. I mean, they haven't launched a new product. They haven't proven they've got traction. He could certainly mess up and die.
Keeping the game alive matters desperately to Josh. He's never failed at anything before. Josh launched his first business whilst in his first year of secondary school.
It started when I was 11. I bought a book to teach myself programming, and I built a website that was teaching other people how to program, and within a month I sold the website for $2,000. And I realized, like, holy shit, like, you can make money doing this.
At 15, the Kent schoolboy sold his next company for a six-figure sum.
The funny thing was, I guess my parents didn't even know I was running this thing at the time, so they had a bit of a shock to find out that I just had this big windfall.
At 18, the child prodigy rejected university and bought a one-way ticket to San Francisco.
I'm kind of like becoming less and less British, which is sad. I try and hold on to it, but whenever I get in like a taxi here, like the driver's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Guess." 9 times out of 10 they say Australia. It's just a shame because having a British accent makes you sound smarter. I'm really not very smart, it's just my accent.
Robin Exton has given herself just 1 month to launch her lesbian dating app, Datch, and she needs to raise $1 million to make her dream a reality.
There is so much money in San Francisco. In San Francisco, everyone puts it into tech, but everyone invests.
Over $10 billion was invested in tech startups in Silicon Valley last year. And with apps like WhatsApp being bought for $19 billion by Facebook, the potential rewards are huge.
Getting someone to invest in you depends on you, and it depends on your business. I think it can sometimes like go on and on and on, and you get rejection after rejection, and every time you're like, fuck, and then you just go and do the next meeting. There is an added responsibility, of course, there is, of like taking someone else's money. But I think, you know, maybe that's like good motivation to keep you focused, because I don't want to fail. I've got a call in 3 minutes with a venture capitalist. When the message is either right or it's not. Hello, good morning. I'm very well, how are you guys? Good. Grindr at the moment is on 7 million users. I think Datch can be bigger than that because we've got a wider audience of bisexual girls, which guys don't have. Cool. Awesome. Okay, great speaking to you. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye. Yeah, I don't know.
On the other side of the city, Josh's fundraising is proving tough. With his game launch 2 months away, he needs a break. And he thinks he's found it.
So I have a few meetings today. I have a phone call with an investor in LA. He is he's looking at leading our next round of funding. So it's kind of a big call. He's He said he'll write a big check for us, but we need to kind of close the deal. I hope he doesn't say no. It's kind of a bit of pressure on here right now. Where like, I've had a lot of no's already. So when you're fundraising, you generally need like one person to commit and take the lead, and the lead is kind of the one who everyone follows. Good, good. How are you doing? The new Mina Monsters 2 will probably launch around September. Yeah, I haven't heard back, so I'm not sure what I should. Why would it be a negative signal? Where are you sitting right now? How do you feel about this? And yeah, where do you sit? So why are you taking a position now that you, I guess, don't want to lead? I thought last time we spoke it sounded a bit different. I'll take those next steps and keep you in the loop. Take care. Bye. Ah, that was that. So Daniel, who I was hoping would lead the round, is not going to. It's frustrating because I've been fundraising for the past month or so, and like I was expecting it to go easier than that, which is a shame because like now I'm trying to think like what I'm going to do next, and like yeah, it's annoying. We're just taking so long to do this. Like we're like 6 months behind. Like it's been an expensive bet to be so late. Feels like we've done a lot wrong here.
With investors losing confidence, Josh Buckley is finding raising the vital funds he needs tough. He calls a meeting with his chief designer Sash and one of his colleagues.
We raised, like, when we had the live game before, like Mina Monsters 1, when we were in a run rate, I had like $10 million a year. It would have been no problem. What it looks like is we're doing an update to our game and it's taken a year. We're burning around $3,000 a day. Is that $70,000 a month around? It's around $70,000 a month. And
Okay, well I think that needs to be like super clear. Like we need to have a very clear understanding, like both of us, of where the money that we're spending is coming from, and like
it's also like everything we've stepped on is like we speak about, okay, this is only going to take a week, and then 3 months later, like one thing we've been working on is taking that long, and we need to be in a mindset of shipping. Like we always need a culture of just urgency to get these results, and I think we just have differing opinions of how to get there. Like he's much more about doing something really slowly but getting it perfectly right. And I'm much more about moving rapidly and then just getting something to the market and questioning it. For the next month, we're just going to cancel everything else in our lives. And I always want to do that anyway, but I think it's important as a startup and just work 6 to 7 days a week and 12 to 16-hour days just to hit these results. Our lives are just on hold until that.
Someone is going in the water when we're done.
21-year-old Julia Onken graduated from university in England. She came to San Francisco with her parents and is hoping that an app that allows high school students to confess their secrets will be the next big hit.
So what's up with work since the last time we kicked it?
They could fire me. I hope they don't.
There's always someone waiting in the wings.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think anyone else, like, right now would have necessarily thought of the ideas I have. Maybe that's cocky, maybe I'm doing a terrible job and I just think I'm doing a great job.
Determined to make it big in tech, she's willing to use every opportunity to get ahead.
Some American will say to me, like, oh, like, where did you go to school? And I'll be like, oh, the University of Buckingham. They'll always do this, like, nod, like, oh, like, that's so prestigious. They just really recognize it as Buckingham Palace, and they always think I've, like, been to, like, basically Oxford, or, like, that I know the Queen.
Julia went to a comprehensive school in England, but she and her family decided there was more to the world.
We decided as a family that it would just be really awesome to move to California, and we decided that as a joke, and then a year later we were here.
Despite her lack of experience, she's managed to convince one of Silicon Valley's newest startups to let her run their marketing.
So first is, it's an app for high school students to anonymously post things. So this is a guy saying, what do girls find most attractive about guys? It sounds like silly stuff, but they want to know the answer, and then this way guys who they know are their age can come in and give their feedback. So the girl says V-lines, abs, jaw lines, eyes, smile, outgoing personality. So yeah, that's first. This is my office, California Avenue. And this is us. Someone on Fest says they're getting an eyeball tattoo. Can you get those?
No.
Really? So I'm about to have a marketing meeting with Mandeep. The user number is really kind of flatlined at the moment, and if we don't have users, we don't have a company, and the user number is like up to me. So it's pretty stressful trying to just make this happen.
The app's biggest competitor has just been valued at $100 million. With well-funded rivals in the market, Group CEO Mandeep can't afford to carry anyone.
Give it to me. What do you got?
Okay, we're at 17,082 right now.
Okay, that number up there has to move, right? I mean, we need 100,000 users. There's no question about it. There's 16 million high school kids, right? And 25,000 high schools. We have a highly engaging app, right? Everybody who uses it continues to use it, but they're not telling their friends. That's your job.
Yeah.
Julia's heading up our marketing program. Ultimately, she's trying to make sure that we've understood where our users are going to come from. But at the end of the day, if she's not able to achieve the results we need, it's not helpful to her or for us to keep her in that position.
If I can't get the user number up, then we have no users. And if we have no users, we don't have a scalable business, and I probably wouldn't have a job.
With 2 weeks left in America and a $1 million fundraising target, Robin has a meeting with renowned British investor Michael Birch.
He's invested in tons of great businesses, like loads which I use regularly. I met him really briefly before, but I haven't spoken to him properly about Dash, so any advice from him is fantastic.
There must be lesbian dating apps that have been done before.
Not really. So there's no people have done them. They've done them as reskins of gay male apps. There's an app called Bender, and they reskinned it purple and called it Brenda. And that's genuinely the largest app that's out there. And across all of them, the main problem is the number of guys that message you. So on the lesbian platforms, it's fake accounts or guys just asking for a threesome and just being able to send you a message.
Anyway, America, you're still based in London.
I'm weighing up so many different things of how it could work.
What do you think are the advantages yourself and disadvantages of moving to the US?
I think the audience is better, the users love it a lot more. It seems to just work with US culture a lot better.
What do you think of the downsides?
There's a lot of indescribable air of we're all doing a startup and are you going to be the next big thing?
How much are you trying to raise?
Over $1 million. It was 1, but I want to push to get a bit more.
Can I have a look at the app?
Yeah.
Oh, I like the UI.
Pages that you're into.
Very nice. Are you previewing all photos before they go live?
Unlike straight apps, we don't really have the problem of VAD shots and dick pics. It's generally quite clean behaviour. So.
Cool.
Meeting Michael was great. He was really nice guy. It's great meeting people who clearly care a lot about product and just run through things. They look through your product and they're like, oh, you should do this and this mechanic makes sense and you should do this one, and you're like, yes, that is a great idea and that's better than what we were thinking of doing. So yeah, he was really nice.
With pressure mounting, Josh has a vital call with an investor. To clear his mind, he takes a brief break with his team.
We're at Ocean Beach right now. It's 10 minutes from my place in San Francisco. And there's most evenings people come here and It's awesome because you see the beautiful sunset and people light bonfires on the beach.
Take a ride in my car.
Take a ride in my car.
When you think about it, like our industry is like 5 years old, right? And game design and like product and like, you know, knowing people in the industry, it's one of the industries where it's so young that age doesn't really have a big impact. Like if you're looking at people who actually run successful businesses, then no, we're not too obsessed. We're like probably verging on not obsessed enough. But if you talk to like a regular person who doesn't like their job, then like, holy shit, we are like out of the ballpark obsessed.
I think there's also a time for being obsessed.
Yeah.
And you can make a choice to be really focused and obsessed for a couple of years.
Yeah. I think like that time for us is like right now.
For young people working in Silicon Valley, there's the potential for huge rewards. When Facebook listed, it's reported to have made over 1,000 staff millionaires overnight and 5 billionaires. But the demands to succeed can take its toll. Sash has already had one heart attack.
I was running on a treadmill in my apartment, and I guess I ran too hard or something, and I had ventricular fibrillation, which is where your heart is usually like these electric pulses go around it, so it beats in rhythm. But if like the electric pulses sort of mess up, then it gets out of rhythm and just starts to quiver like it's having a seizure. And that's called like a cardiac arrest of the ventricular fibrillation. And so for whatever reason that happened to me, and like I don't remember it happening because I was so drugged up when I went to hospital, but everyone basically came and like gave me CPR for 5 minutes, I guess. And then the ambulance came and they took me away, and then they like froze me. Like they put me basically in ice cold water for like, I guess 3 days. And they do that so that you don't have brain damage, right? Anyway, I woke up and they thought I had brain damage at first, but I don't remember like 2 days before that. I couldn't work for an additional month after that, right? And the most stressful thing about the entire experience was not being able to work, because that's what I love doing, right? I love making games.
It's not until everything is taken away from you, you realize how good it was.
I'm about to take a call from one of my, potential investors in this new round. He offered me $1 million a while ago, but we didn't want it, and now we're actually looking to raise. How's it going?
With his team relying on him for funding and his game running late, he needs this investor to come through for him.
Oh, really? How much money did they pull out? Right. So I want to check on, I guess, on your investment with us as well. Where are you sitting? So that's how much people are checking out of the fund? I just want to wrap up this round pretty soon. I mean, I'd rather just do a smaller amount sooner rather than later and just, I guess, close it off so we can get this game to launch. So keep me posted this week. So basically, you'll know by the 18th, I guess, how much your investors are pulling out. So your hope is that they pull out less. Okay, take care. Bye. Some of his investors are pulling out, so he'll know by the start of next week all the details. And that's when he'll give me a confirmation on a number. A startup that's not growing is unappealing, which like investors don't want to invest in things that aren't growing, especially in the short term. It's like things like pulling my attention in every direction. It's like 11 p.m. Sunday night, and just winding down.
Are you dying?
I hope not. Maybe.
With pressure mounting, Julia Onken needs to bring in her first 100,000 teens for the app, and fast. she has an idea.
I was thinking, you know, if we can get like cheerleaders on board, if we can infiltrate cheer camps in some way, we could be really successful. I'm thinking of making swag bags of kind of all the stuff that cheerleaders use, especially at camp. So things like bows, Nike Pros, water bottles, towels, that kind of thing, and basically, you know, branding them with our kind of logo, colors, everything like that, and then dropping them off in the middle of the night outside, like a team's kind of cabin or wherever they're staying. If someone gave me a present, it was all branded by an app, I would definitely download the app just to see what it was.
Heading up marketing with very little track record, Julia needs to win over her boss, Mandeep.
All right, so how did last week go?
I think in terms of user numbers, like it has been better than previous weeks.
What's the number?
So the number right now is 17,363.
Does that look good?
In the grand scheme of things, no.
You're going to have to make a choice about where you want to spend your time.
Okay.
Because it's not effective in the last few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you feel it's effective in the last few weeks?
No, but I feel like I'm doing the right thing in the way of like exploring everything that I can.
Okay.
What do you think about this swag bag stuff?
It's a pretty big decision to make, to say, we're now going to invest money to create stuff. Before we make that choice, I want to see what can cheerleaders actually do for us. Now, are you telling me that I can't figure that out unless I do this?
It's all about image, you know, and I think that if we're giving them stuff, we have to make it the best thing ever.
So what if you just made t-shirts?
Yes.
Like, what's the minimum amount you think we could get away with in order to make this work? And it's not about being cheap. There's a cheer camp going on at Santa Clara. There are going to be 300 girls there. Get the t-shirt design, go get some t-shirts made up, drive down to one of the cheer camps and see what comes as a result of it. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Because if it works out, great, we're all happy. If it doesn't and I spent $10,000 to find out that we're sitting on a bunch of swag bags, not happy. No job ever gives you complete flexibility to do what you want all the time. You can be kind and gentle and maybe achieve the same results, but I tend to be more direct and forthright with the hope that the results will come faster.
Making it in Silicon Valley isn't as easy as it seems.
I'm feeling frustrated. Yeah, that's about it. Just frustrated.
Just think like we all want the same thing. We all want users. We want the app to be successful. But like, kind of what's been decided now is that we're gonna not do it in terms of like a big swag bag, and instead of that, just make t-shirts and make a few of them. I just don't know that like that this is the best way to go, but we'll try it.
I don't think he has it wrong. I just don't think he has it right.
Robin Exton gave herself 4 weeks in America to fundraise and launch her app, and she's arrived in New York.
Hello.
Hello, Robin. How are you?
I'm really well. How are you?
Things are looking up as multi-millionaire Michael Birch decides to invest.
Don't blow my money on too many drugs and parties.
Yeah, I'll be sure to not.
Yeah. Well, good luck. We'll sync up again soon. Let me know if I can do anything to help. Cheers, then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We liked her a lot. Super passionate. She'd built a great product, proven she could execute. Was getting some early traction. Had identified an area that was, we feel, being underserved, and had the potential to be the market leader in that. And early stage, so relatively low valuation. It was a good time to invest.
With initial investment, the app might have potential, but she needs to convince gay and bisexual women to download it. She's launching it at a lesbian technology conference in New York. Success here could help her roll it out across America.
Ultimately, the people that I have to impress is the audience, and then it's never a bad thing when there are investors there. If it goes down well with them, that's good.
Last time that we had this conversation, I decided we should be friends.
Just about to go in and do the pitch.
How are you feeling, Tom?
Yeah, no, I'm nervous. This is the moment just before you're like, shit, don't forget it. Okay, bye.
Robin has just 5 minutes to impress an audience of 400 influential tech lesbians and their friends.
Okay, so Dash. Robin Exton is from London. She is here to pitch Dash, a lesbian dating app. Let's give it up for Robin.
Hello, everyone. I am Robin, and I'm the founder of Dash. This here on the left is my best friend, Winnie. And this was her girlfriend, Bex. Last year, though, they broke up. And 6 months later, Bex ended up with their other best friend, Jess. We've all been there. We know what that feels like. So Winnie was back on the singles market, and we also know what that feels like. She's already slept with all of her friends, and her ex-ex just moved to Portland, so things were looking a little bit bleak. But luckily for Winnie, she now has Dash, the first app designed and optimized exclusively for lesbian, bisexual, and curious women. When Winnie signs into Dash, she signs in using Facebook, which is the first thing she loves about the app, because it checks that she is both real and female. So, unlike every other lesbian app out there, she no longer gets messages from guys asking her for a threesome or trying to convert her. Because you see, Winnie isn't a guy. She's not looking to meet up with someone in 3 minutes or 30 minutes. She's a woman, and she actually books her dates a few days in advance. So Dash shows her the profiles that are relevant to her. Now, I'm here today for a specific reason, which is because I'm very excited to announce we are launching Dash in New York. After 5,000 requests from the area, it is finally live. So if you're trying to work out where you will meet your next lesbian, bi, or not so straight woman, go to Dash, because there are thousands of women waiting there for you. Yeah, it was good. Slight technical issues, but it was good. And slides didn't go and didn't click, but I think it was fine. Yeah, it was good. Glad it's done. I can enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Hiya.
Hi. How's your day?
Stressful.
Back home with her parents after a tough meeting with her boss, Julia is feeling the pressure.
Tomorrow I have to give him a shortened version of the cheerleader plan. He wants to do it on a lot smaller scale than I was thinking, and prove to him why we should keep doing those things. It doesn't. It's just tough. But yeah.
Are you worried?
I mean, I'm worried that we won't get the users quick enough. Mandeep doesn't want to invest as much into that, so he just wants to do t-shirts. I get the whole we have to test it before we do it bigger, but it's just frustrating to me because I know that swag bag is expensive, but to a high school cheerleader, to get a bag of cool things that you want is different than getting a company t-shirt that you end up sleeping in.
It's a week after his phone call with the investor, and Josh is still struggling to find funds for his game. His family is more than 5,000 miles away.
Hello? Hi, Mom. How's everything over there?
Good, lots of sport.
Sport? Oh, football.
Wimbledon and, tennis.
Oh, really? Wimbledon's on now?
It's finished today.
I didn't even know it happened. Well,
Oh, really? You're out of touch.
yeah, it shows up. I haven't been following anything.
How's business?
The fundraising is challenging. So hit some roadblocks there.
Thanks for ringing.
Okay.
Nice to hear from you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
See ya. Bye, Josh.
I think I missed home a lot in the first year when I moved away, but now, I've kind of, this is my home. But now I kind of have almost like family out here now. And Eve, she's family.
Yeah.
Don't you think that it's boring how people talk? But I know it's not forever. Baby, be the class clown. I'll be the beauty queen in tears. It's a new iPhone showing people how we care.
With downloads for her app slowing down and the pressure to create a workable marketing plan, Julia's attention turns to another way to make her fortune in Silicon Valley.
You know what a Google husband is, don't you?
A Google husband only has to be rich, successful. Successful, working in the Valley, and have a similar career path to Julia. And and then you both can strive together. And be the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the Silicon Valley. That's what a Google.
There's like two types of Google husbands. There's like Google husband and like power couple, like bring ourselves, like push each other up. And then there's like Google husband in the way that like maybe I find the kind of person that's like, Julia, like don't even worry about it. Like we're cool. Just like hang out in the spa all day. Like just chill, just be fun. Like,
It's like a sugar dad.
they'll be like, Julia, it's fine. Just like start a non-profit. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll just like start a charity. Like.
Just create like a yoga pants store.
Yeah,
or like a yoga.
That's so Silicon Valley, like chirpy wife.
In the absence of a Google husband, Julia needs to impress her boss with a scaled-down plan to grow the user numbers. And it's already 11 a.m.
Hey guys. I forgot to set my phone alarm. I think I'll just get the plan done from here and then go into work for 12 of it done. I need to get prices for just t-shirts and packaging and kind of estimate like when that's going to happen, like when they're going to arrive. There's definitely a lot of pressure for kids to succeed in tech in Silicon Valley, but that just comes from like the pattern of like uber young people like making it big. Burning out just like isn't really an option around here. Okay, I need to figure this out.
To make her plan work, Julia just needs to source 200 t-shirts and get them printed by tomorrow.
Get the shirts here by Friday and
Ish.
I
knew this
at
was like
$600.
I wasn't sure if I'm allowed to. but my kids thought, why is Zoya auntie here?
They don't call me auntie. They don't call me that.
I've been trying to plant that seed.
We've just hit like another tiny little roadblock.
T-shirts?
Yeah, so to get t-shirts here for Friday adds $600 to the total.
Ouch.
It's September and launch month for his new game, but Josh Buckley still hasn't raised the money he needs and has postponed the launch. Concerned about his options, he calls a meeting with Sash.
We had like every major VC I went to said no to me for one reason or another.
But Josh, who's been in the tech business for 5 years, has had a breakthrough. An audience with Apple. If they promote his game, he'll have investors beating a path to his door.
We're going to Apple to present the new game, in the hopes that they'll get really excited about it and decide to help us out with a lot of marketing. I'm excited about it. If they decide to work with us and help us out with featuring and marketing, like it'd be huge for us. It'd be a huge end for the year. Like, without a doubt, it would drive millions of new players in the first week, which would just be the best start for this game.
The difference between this getting this feature and not is if we don't get this feature, we're probably looking at about 250,000 people playing every day, and if we do get this feature, it could be like 5 million. So it's a huge difference.
Over 20,000 apps are launched every month. Only a few will make money, and even fewer get promoted by Apple. For Josh, it's a long shot.
Hi, Mum. Hi, Daddy. Hi.
Having hit a roadblock with her marketing plan, Julia contemplates her future working for Fess.
I think there's like a lot that I don't know about, So I definitely would like to explore like a bigger company one day.
You're allowed to fail, particularly in your first job, it doesn't matter. You know that you contributed a lot, you came up with lots of ideas, and most frustrating thing is having a great idea and not being able to sell it to people. So I would almost focus on that now. Maybe start thinking about how can I just practice selling my ideas better and let go of the idea that if it works or it doesn't work, it's just how can I develop my skills. Maybe just sort of back to school time now for everybody. Maybe this is a good time to start thinking about.
Jump in where the summer interns left off. Yeah, maybe.
Across town, Josh's future is riding on his new game being promoted by Apple.
Actually went really well. They were super excited, way more than... Should have gone better, actually.
Yeah. I think they really liked it. They really liked the game. They really liked all the features.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
It went really, really, really well.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like we predicted, right? They were really focused on just the aesthetics and like the mechanics and like the long-term retention.
Yeah. They just looked at it and were like, wow, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
We have a really good shot.
Feeling confident, once more Josh is starting to feel optimistic about his future.
If you want to do big and exciting things, you've got to expect it to be tough, Like, it's kind of like constantly slamming your head against a brick wall until you reach breakthrough.
I've just been through war so many times and had so much experience that nothing seems so surreal anymore. Like I'm just so determined and focused.
Do I have any regrets? We should have raised more money when it was easier to. Like the market's being harder on us on raising money right now. Like we had the option to raise like $10 million 12 months ago, and the common advice is raise money when you can, and we just didn't need the money at the time, but now it'd be pretty nice to have that 10 million. Like if I can create a big company that that people love to come to work to, and I have a big impact in that way, and also create products that millions of people love, like I would die happy. If I failed tomorrow, I would just get back up very quickly and let's try again and just keep on trying.
In New York, Robin has just received the first figures for her app. Within 48 hours of pitching, it's become the fastest growing lesbian dating app in the city.
Oh my God, cheers! I was looking at the admin app earlier, and there's so many people using it in New York. So yesterday I was in this cafe and I was working out of it, and I have like a sticker on the front of my computer that says Dutch. And this guy was sat opposite me, and he was like, "Oh, do you work at Dutch?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I do. It's actually my company." He was like, "Oh, it's crazy. All the girls in the office were talking about it the other day." And I was like, "Oh, really? Why? Where do you work?" He was like, "Oh, I work at Vogue." And I was like, "What?"
Very cool.
But do you think the business will do better here? Like, what do you think the difference is?
Okay, so I think that the app will be bigger here. I think it has more users. It's going to be a bigger market for it.
Do you reckon? Are you ready to come, or do you reckon is there anything you're scared about leaving?
That's what. So the first time I came here, when I came to City Goes First, that was like when I left, I was like, oh, actually, I really miss London, and there's so much stuff about it that I didn't expect to, but I did really miss.
So I think there's a much stronger dating culture here.
Because people in New York want to be in love.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
true.
After a month of fighting for investment and a successful launch in New York, Robin's American dream is closer than ever before.
I'm honestly really thrilled. I think it feels great here. It feels really natural here. It feels like it's a great product for people here. I'm really excited. I want to carry on doing promotional things here and spreading the word more and doing more marketing here. And then it's just looking at the next cities to launch it in and try and get it all across the country before Christmas, because December until February 14th is peak dating time.
We are proud individuals living for the city, but the flames couldn't go much higher. We find God and religions to...
What would it take to satisfy the super rich on holiday? The extreme opulence of the £1 billion hotel is at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Coming up next on 4, a wannabe fairy tale princess is searching for her Prince Charming in First Dates.